mind you can't control. Running wild, can't calm down. My head is in the clouds. Gotta keep this feeling, keep on breathing, even if we're slipping away. So I close my eyes and lose myself now. Do it like it's only today. We got a party for a lifetime. No, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. No, we don't care about the bad nights. Before I thinking I can feel like this, make me feel like this. We got a party for a lifetime. No, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. No, we don't care about the bad nights. Before I thinking I can feel like this, make me feel like this. I'm on my last straw. I'm broken and I'm woken up. I'm done feeding your lies. I've had enough. I can't run your place in this faulty game. And all the words you speak mean nothing more to me. 'Cause I'd start over now. Rewind, and I won't let you go. I need you by my side. I'm done, I'm gone, so don't run from the truth. You're lost, now I know. You played me just like a flute. I still can't believe you had me on a leash, cutting all my teeth with all the lies you bring. 'Cause let's start over now. Rewind, and I won't let you go. I need you by my side. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. 'cause you don't know how. You say we're taking on water, yeah, we're sinking now. You're looking all concerned, like we're gonna drown. But we both know how to swim, no worries as we'll fall now. Let's take it slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow, who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. I drag you out your mind, and there are days I hate you, but baby, you're still mine. And then we have the best times, no matter what we do. And even when we don't, there's nobody I'd rather choose. Let's take it slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Slow, who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow, who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me.
Well, hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. You could have chosen to be anywhere on YouTube, anywhere in the world, and you chose to be right here. Your time is valuable. I know that. And thank you for spending it a little bit of your time with me. Today is September 25th, 2024. It is 6:42 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, Jill. Thank you so much. How is my pearls? I hope you are well wherever you are. All right. Talking about the Sebastian Rogers case, a lot going on and a lot of nonsense going on more than anything, to be quite honest with you. But we're a channel that sticks to the facts about the case. Yes, we do speculate, but we know what speculation is. And we discuss scenarios that We don't know, but we keep it nonetheless about the facts, not about what someone did in 1976. Uh, doesn't really serve anything. We are here for Sebastian, and the only thing that we care about is what happened on February 25th and February 26th of 2024. Now, last night we were speaking. Um, uh, I don't know if Truth Sleuth is in here or not. However, she made a very interesting comment speaking about the time frames. We were talking about the time frames during the night. Now, Sebastian Rogers, his mother and Sebastian, they the mother says it was just her and Sebastian in the home that night. They are divorced from the bio father, which is Seth Rogers, and Katie is now married to a man named Chris. He says that he was in uh, Mississippi, right pretty much on the Mississippi Tennessee border, because he was working in Memphis. When that happened, she says she was laying on the couch that night. Uh, and on the first interview, she says Sebastian goes to bed at 9 o'clock. She says she falls asleep, or she tells uh, the lady that she's doing the interview with that she falls asleep at 10 o'clock. And then Chris speaks up and says that he uh, actually called um, Katie at 9:40, around 9:48 in the morning. And so that would be a little bit odd if you ask me, because they say that they first said that they were on the phone for 3 hours. It's actually around a 2 hour call when you think about it, because about 9:48 till just before midnight. So we'll say 9:48 to 11:48, right? So that's what we're going to say, 2 hours. Again, their words, not mine. So that's 2 hours. Katie said she goes to sleep at 10 o'clock. That means within 12 minutes, she would be asleep on while she was on the phone for a full 2 hours. Then we went to the morning of the 911 call. And in my opinion, you can tell there is, it feels very scripted. Feels very scripted, especially in Olivia's interview that they do. Single mom, thank you so much. Boy, I know you have been a thank you, my dear. Really do appreciate you. Much love to you, single mom. Hey, Jude. Thank you, my dear, for gifting a pearl necklace. If you received that pearl necklace, give our Hey Jude a big thank you. Come on now. Thank you, Hey Jude. And single mom, thank you so very much for gifting a pearl necklace. My dear, love you very much. Very, very scripted, more and more than they go, most definitely. I do believe that we are getting closer. I really do believe we are getting closer to a resolution. What I hope is that Sebastian is found very, very soon. That is the most important thing, is that Sebastian is found. I do believe this is a criminal investigation. There is no evidence to suggest that Sebastian walked out on his own. There is only a, evidence of a disappearance. And how that disappearance happened, well, we don't know. We don't know. But Jennifer Coffindaffer did a live today. If you haven't seen that live, make sure you go see that. Very important. She worked in the FBI for many, many years and still trains um, for that. You're fine, Truth Sleuth. You're fine, darling. The reward went up to 150K. I have not. I can't get over the mom not looking for Sebastian. That is a very bizarre, bizarre thing, if you ask me, Eric. What parent doesn't look for their child? And it's not even, you know, physically going out and looking. What mother doesn't rejects interviews or gives a no comment? It speaks volumes. And it's interesting you said that, because I do have a video that I think they said it best. Mr. E's Crimecast. Please drop Mr. E's channel, and Spirit Seeker. Spirit Seeker actually uh, cut this part. So please drop both of them if you don't mind, mods. I would greatly appreciate it. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, as it helps get the word out. Most of us would, walk through hell barefooted on glass to find our child. Uh, it just dawned on me that there was, if Edgar was at the RV park, he would have stated it. I mean, Lisa, um, you know, when it comes to truth is important, right? Truth is important, especially in a missing person's case, right? And you've got to always look out for the ones in in the case involved who is trying to put out the truth, who is trying at all. And so you have Seth, who has been there since day one, doing anything and everything that he can in order to find his son. Whether it's, speaking with people, uh, you'd try anything, right, to find your son. And he's the one that has been searching. He is the one that has non-stopped been doing the interviews, driving, he drove to North Carolina even, uh, at the possibility even that this could be his son, which it ended up it wasn't. doing anything that he possibly can. You need a lie detector test? Great. I'll do it on national television. Oh, you want to see my time card? Here it is. Right? Because people who have nothing to hide nothing. Right? In true crime, people who have nothing to hide nothing. It's very important. And you have a mother who is on the DL, right? Always. Um, Running 3.5 hours away, making, in my opinion, excuses. Uh, have you ever heard of a mama bear, right? That's what mothers are whenever their kid is missing. It's what dads are whenever their child is missing. We were um, speaking earlier about goodness, my mind just went blank. Desiree Kyron Horman. There we go. Kyron Horman's case, and Desiree, who is Kyron's mother, has been, it's been what, 14, 16 years now. She has never stopped. She is a mama bear. And let me tell you something, it hasn't been easy, right? But this is your child. This is your child. There is nobody that will ever and could ever advocate better than the parents. And so when you don't see a mother out there, you wonder why. You wonder why going 3.5 hours away whenever your son was last seen at your home, under your watch, under your care. Like I've said before, if this would have been a babysitter and they said, well, he just walked out in the middle of the night and there's no evidence to prove otherwise, there's not a scent, there's nothing on camera, and there's not a footprint, not a sighting of him at all. No confirmed sightings whatsoever. Mm, okay, I gotcha. Thank you for texting me that. It makes you really wonder. And, you know, I don't think anyone should uh, directly say anyone is involved in this case, but there's a lot of questions that a mother is refusing to answer to the public, right? Um, they've asked us to, quote, not let Sebastian's face go to the bottom of a feed, end quote. And so when there is such public interest in this case, whether someone is looking at you sideways or not, how about answer the question? They have been invited to so many different gatherings in which I assure you that everyone would have been kind and respectful to them and may actually uh, help them. I mean, I think it would have helped perception, public perception at the very least. Um, People gathering uh, for your child. Even the neighbors did a gathering for the family in support, you know, just to support them, that as a very local neighborhood, rather not even the little neighborhood that they live in. And guess what? They didn't show up for that either. They sent representatives. I don't even know when the last interview. It's been several months since they even did an interview on any news station that I'm aware of. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chad. Um, I don't know. There's Serenity. Hey, darling. My husband became stepdad to my children when 2 were teenagers, and my youngest was 6. He never spanked any of my kids and left final discipline to me. And if anything happens to one of them, he would be out looking with me. Yes. And that's the difference, right, Serenity? You have step parents who many times don't get the credit that they deserve. They literally step up and take, you know, someone else's biological child as their own and love them just as much as they love you. Love them because they love you, right? And that is what real step parents do. And that is such an honorable thing, right? Because they love you so much. It's a package deal. And, if you have I don't even like to call it a blended family, but we'll just use that word. Uh, and, they stepped up or you stepped up, God bless you, because there are the absolute opposite out there that, for whatever reason, they just want the woman or they just want the man, but they don't want the kids. And sadly, many times the parents will be more on the side of their husband or their wife and, abandon, mistreat their own child. And that makes you sick, right? So, credit goes to, of course, Mr. E and Spirit Seeker who clipped this.
You just give them all the answers and tell them what to think. They'll never learn how to think. It is truly a skill.
Brilliantly
so, if you ask yourself, why would Chris and Katie say no comment on the anniversary and the announcement of that $50,000 reward? Well, I don't have to tell you the answer at all. You already know the answer. There's only one answer. I don't have to say a thing or voice my opinion. You can reach that conclusion on your own. It's like the one we were talking about earlier. On the morning that Sebastian disappeared, why did Chris say, "Don't be mad," and not say something like, "Have you talked to Sebastian?
Do you have him?
Do you know where he is? He's missing."
Right? Not, there was no, do you have him? Do you have him? Not, are you, please don't be mad. Well, I mentioned this the other day. Don't be mad is when you broke someone's favorite teacup. That's what don't be mad is. Have you heard from him? Yes, Arctic, exactly. Do you know where he could be? But that wasn't asked. Did Sebastian call you? Right? Text him, call him when they know he is at work and that he has to keep his phone in the car and that they have his work number. Still didn't call that number. Yes, Justin, when you decide to marry someone with a child, you are willing entering into being not just a spouse, but a parent responsible for a child who deserves to be loved and cared for, in my opinion. Yes. Yes. So why was that not asked? That would have been, I would have called Seth probably before I called 911 even, just to confirm that, do you have our son? Did he say anything to you? Do you know where he is, where he could be? Because I woke up this morning and he's not here. That wasn't said. So,
Okay. What's the answer? Like, you already know. Like, why? We don't have to pretend that we don't know the answers to questions, because we can use logic. We can ask Socratic method type of questions and figure these things out.
On our
We might
own.
not know the details, but we can see where the problems are. That's why all of this.
that's right. Seth was closer. He's in work. He works in Nashville. You're fine, Bo. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. He's, working in Nashville. He wasn't 3.5 hours away. Interesting how that happened, right? But we'll talk about something later.
Seth being a suspect and things. It's nonsense. It's not if you're thinking. For people that are capable of logic,
Yes.
and have really investigated this case, Seth is not an issue here. Every professional that's looked at Seth they're not looking at him anymore. There's a reason they don't do the statement analysis guys and the psychologists and the criminal.
Survey says
they don't talk about Seth, and there's a reason.
Exactly.
Because there's nothing there. Would a guilty person that had a hand in Sebastian's disappearance be begging for FBI involvement? Would they?
Right.
I mean, you can answer that question and you know the truth because that happened. It's my daily deception detective plug. But he did a video on Seth early on, and he came to the same conclusion we've all come to, that Seth had nothing to do with the disappearance of his child. But he's on his website. He's got like a list of the 7 signs that a parent has not been involved.
Oh, let's hear them.
And so he's like going through these things. And one is, do you talk about your child in the present tense when they disappear? Which of course, Seth did. Are you cooperative with people asking you and try your best to answer questions? He always was very cooperative and tried to answer. How about Chris and Katie? Are they always cooperative with those questions? Inconclusive. has Seth always been somewhat inconclusive about what might have happened? He always kind of said he didn't know. He just said he hopes he's out there somewhere. Maybe he's kidnapped. Maybe he ran away. Maybe
Right. He's driving to North Carolina because he thinks there might be a sighting.
Were Katie and Chris conclusive about Sebastian walking out that front door?
I mean, I even drove to North Carolina. For that. You can't, like, they spoke for, I don't know, a month or so. They did how many interviews? Maybe 5 interviews, 6 maybe. They did a couple where they, it wasn't so much an interview, it was just kind of going on panel and chit-chatting. And so I just can't, I don't understand it. There is nothing. They have not been told to not look any longer. That was the first week whenever it was an active, ongoing search. That is when they asked them to not go out. But now there's nothing.
And vanishing, right? Do they ever address a kidnapper? To be fair here, I'm not sure that any of them ever addressed the kidnapper. I cannot recall.
I don't think so.
I know that prophets.
Seth just repeats, I just want my son back home.
There's a checklist of 7. There's one that, we're going to be fair to the process. I don't know if.
I don't believe there is a kidnapper. In my opinion, I think this is someone very familiar. Look at a lot of what the professionals, retired police officers and all of them. Hey Nick, good to see you, buddy. The victim in this, the risk of Sebastian being a victim from a stranger is almost zero. It's just zero. I mean, who goes into this cul-de-sac with 2 streets, and why Sebastian? I mean, did they, feel sorry for him? How would they know he was there? He rarely went outside. It doesn't make sense. And what did they do? Carry him out of the neighborhood? Did they run out of the neighborhood with it on their shoulder? Because there's no scent. And I don't believe that happened either, because there's nothing on camera except for 3 a.m. Then there is something on camera. And that is a car, people with some sort of light, and then one person going back toward the Proudfoot home and doesn't come back out. All right, people, let's get out our thinking caps here, and there's 2 people in that home, allegedly. One is missing. Okay. So how many does that leave left? 1 other person. It's not that difficult, in my opinion. Now, it is when it comes to knowing where he is. But I assure you, this child is going to be found. he is going to be found. There is too many people out here who care for Sebastian, and they're just not going to let it go. Yes, exactly, Mr. E. Critical thinking is it seems to be a lost art, if you will, doesn't it? Critical thinking. People just open their mouths before they think it out, think it through, or they feel a certain way, right? They just feel a certain way. Well, that doesn't change anything. Do you think he may have you on sleep meds, Justin? Not in. I don't think. I don't think he did it. But if that happened, I don't think he did this on his own. Because if it was like that, that would be an accident. And accidents, if they happen, and you know, you're not going to be held accountable as a parent, you call 911, right? Someone breaks their arm, they fall down the stairs, they break their arm. That's an accident. You call the ambulance if you need it. So, you know, I always say it's kind of like there's different type of accidents, right? If you, like I said, fall down the stairs, you break your arm, you call the ambulance. But if someone believes in corporal punishment, like Mr. Foot, and let's say, just as an example, that he would slap him on the face, right? Well, you meant to slap them, right? But you broke a neck. That is where people freak out and they do really crazy things. So I'm not saying that happened, and I'm not saying he did that. I want to make that clear. But I'm saying this just as an example. So let's see here. You gave them a couple extra they was prescribed medicine, but for whatever reason you gave them extra, 2 or 3 extra or whatever, and that messed with their breathing and they stopped breathing. Well, there's a thing called toxicology, right? You would get in trouble for that. So it's not illegal for them to take the medicine, but it has to be taken as prescribed. So this is there's different kinds of accidents, if you will. I think, in my opinion, at the end of the day, I think there was a lot going on in this home. I have showed it before. December, there is Sebastian's birthday. It's Christmas. This is when things went really bad with Nina, and she was allegedly chased down the highway and allegedly chased down the airport with on a Facebook Live while Katie is cackling like a hyena running toward her in an airport on a Facebook Live. Also, this is also when there is an alleged CPS visit, and I think there was more. Let me finish this and I'll show you. Let me pull it up while I'm playing this.
Of him ever doing it, but he might have. Did they ever address the child? I think both parties have at times in various interviews. And do they ask for help? Seth early on absolutely was asking for help. First interviews, he's got the shirt on with the face. It was a huge sign that he was an innocent person because he's trying to be a walking billboard to get his son out. So he knew he'd be doing interviews. He doesn't have to say a word. Help me. Here's my son. Here's the number. Here's his name. He's asking for help with his clothing. He doesn't even have to say anything in those early interviews. In those early interviews,
there is no proof, Nadia, that Chris was at work other than his words. And in my opinion, his words fall as flat as a pancake. And the reason they fall flat as a pancake because of for several instances, a few I will give you. Number one, on the very first interview that he did with anyone, he said that they asked, "Did you pass the lie detector test?" It was passed. He didn't say I passed or anything like that. And then they asked again, passed. Yes, passed. And then again, it was asked, and then people knew what he was doing. And he didn't say, "Oh, I didn't say who passed." Right. And he also said that they were cleared as well. Another example, him and Katie were at some bike shop whenever they was on some sort of early on vacation, like really early on. And they were getting criticism because your kid's missing, you're not looking, and you are at a bike place. And he said, "No, that's an old picture. That's an old picture." Well, then why do you have a shirt on that says "Missing Sebastian Rogers"? Right? I have heard that, Regina, but again, I can't. I cannot confirm that. If Katie's was inconclusive, I have heard that, but I don't know. Another one, you want to talk about polygraphs? Seth said, "Sure, let's do it." Chris said, "Name the time and place." Nancy did. He backed out. Said, Nancy said, "Have you taken a polygraph?" He didn't. He didn't say. He just said, "I have asked on numerous occasions, and they said because of where I was, I don't need to take one." Nancy's like, "Cool. Will you take one?" "Sure. Name the time and place." Then he suddenly says, "TBI said I could take one." That's not the way it works. If they told you they don't need one, they will not give you one just to tickle your fancy. Okay? It's not going to work. It's not going to happen. And it also doesn't mean you can't take a polygraph for anyone else. They don't care. It can't be held up in court. You can ask them any question you want. You know, do you like red more than blue? It doesn't matter. The polygrapher or Nancy would have the questions they would want asked, and the polygrapher would give it to them. Has nothing to do with any sort of TBI not wanting you to. TBI is not there to give you advice, especially when they have not said anyone is a suspect, but they also haven't cleared anybody, which makes no freaking sense. But I digress.
Use the prompt. I don't know that they asked for help without being prompted every time. Was there any kind of call to action? Seth in those early interviews always very, very much calling for action. Call TBI, do this, come help, come do the searches. with Chris and Katie, these early interviews, it was really always prompted. Like an interviewer might say something like, "Do you have any messages you want to send to the public?" It's kind of setting them up for the correct answer, not really ever doing it on their own. But anyway, it's an interesting list. Deception Detective has tons of stuff like that on his desk. And the reason I just wanted to kind of mention that tonight is just that I'm sad for Seth getting drugged through the mud over and over. There's no logical reason to place him there. He's literally in a jail for 13 hours with cameras all around him. Passed 2 polygraph tests. Didn't have a motive. Didn't have the means. Didn't have the opportunity. I mean, it's just
Exactly.
And I know you could probably go on.
I mean, you could just do it all day. You could do it all day. He's holding vigils. Would you, if you
Yes.
were?
Also, they keep saying he's not searching, and we know for a fact he was searching on Sunday.
Yeah,
Sunday.
we have kind of known this. We just haven't been able to double source it. We now double source it.
Yeah.
So we know for a fact he is holding private searches. And so, and if after Saturday, I think we know why they're private.
Correct.
No, rightly so.
Why would you do private searches? Don't you trust the public?
No,
You can't.
There's
not after what happened.
So there's a reason they're keeping this private, and it's a good reason at this point. But we have been getting information that's been happening,
But we know for a
until we
fact.
have multiple people telling us, and so we know that there've been people out on the searches.
Could you look at
If you have no motive, no means, no opportunity, you have showed your time cards, you've taken 2 polygraphs, you've begged the FBI to involve more, and the list goes on and on. You don't shy away from the news or the questions from big media. I don't mean us on any social media. I mean media. What do you want from him? Like, seriously, like, you don't like him? Okay, that's, whatever, but the dad didn't do anything. 100% this guy, Seth Rogers, did nothing. 0. If I had even a half percentage point of this man could be involved in any way, I would not be saying this right now. I'm just telling you. So, but what we do have is a lot of bizarre things that happened on that night and the morning and the days after. And the thing is, people's like, well, you don't know if Seth hired somebody. Okay. Give me one. Give me one thing that could lead you to that, because you don't have anything. And if you don't have anything, put it down. It's too heavy. You're wasting your time. You're wasting your energy. And I will tell you, there is going to come a day, and hopefully very soon, that there's going to be people on the right side of history and people on the wrong side of history in this case. And the things that, for instance, so much stuff has been made up about this man. Said that he was gone for hours at a time. Said that he gave a woman $10,000. The most ridiculous stuff that I know for a fact, because you know me, I ask the questions. They'll talk to me, I'll ask you the questions. Like Mr. Foote said he would speak to me the day after Smiley's. Mm. So there's that. Your girl Megs, welcome to the Pearl family, my dear. Really appreciate you, your girl Megs. Love your emoji. Thank you, my dear. Y'all, please welcome your girl Megs. And thank you so much, Nadia. You great expression of your show. Thank you, Nadia. Thank you, Nadia. Really appreciate your support. MTB coming in at 6 months. Thank you, darling. Thank you for your continued support. Thank you, Justin, for always covering cases with grace and class. Been with you 2 years now. Mama's the boss. I love you, my dear. Thank you so very much, MTB. Love you to pieces. You know that, girl. And hello. Good to see you, love. CP is not nearly as smart as he thinks he is. Playing word games. He just backs himself into a corner, in my opinion. And, it's very interesting you said that because, in my opinion, that is the reason they are not doing anything. No interviews, nothing on the news, nothing in print, nothing online. Nothing online. That is my opinion and my opinion alone. But that is why I believe they are no longer doing any sort of interviews that ask them questions about the day, about what's going on, because every time uh, you speak, and if there is any sort of foul play, you are, Elisa, it's very possible. It's very possible, or that, it's possible. It is possible. Let's see here. But let me go over this real quick. Great commentary, Mr. and Mrs. and Auntie. Great commentary, and thank you to Spirit Seeker as well. So, if we look here in December of 2023, we have Sebastian's birthday, Christmas, CPS. This is when Nina and Mr. Foot do the no contact orders in Tennessee and New Mexico. This is when they are allegedly running Nina down the highway, and like I said, KK chasing Nina through the airport, cackling like a laughing hyena on a Facebook Live. We know they have an attorney on Bullhorn Petty case. That's true. That's true. Yes. Yes. Very true. Very true. And so December, it can be stressful, right? Lots of you got birthdays and CPS and Christmas and your ex. Lots of stresses going on there, right? And then January, I don't know, man. That's weird. I don't know. And then you got January right here saying the Foots says that he was home many times in January. He can tell us that he was home in January. Congratulations, guys. He can tell us. He has been dictated that he can tell us that he was home in January, but he can't in any time in February after the 5th. Now, let's think about that a moment. You can tell us you was home up until the 5th of February, but for whatever reason, you can't tell us you were home after the 5th of February. Isn't that interesting? Why? Has to be a reason. And it's not because of the investigation, in my opinion. Okay. I can tell you that I was home many days in January, but February, I can only tell you I was up to the 5th. We're not privy to that information, right? The end of January, there is alleged another CPS case. I believe it's the 26th or the 28th, right? This is when Mr. Foot says, Sebastian, is my mic low? Is my mic low, guys? Let me know if it's low. This is when Mr. Foot says they're sitting at the dinner table and that Sebastian is being punished. Because he had gotten a spanking. Oh, thank you. Another round. Get another Mark Jacobs. Thank you for the help. Appreciate it. Kind of like Dolly Parton. Cost a lot of money to look this cheap, right? Thank you, dear. I really appreciate you. Very, very sweet of you. So isn't a punishment, I always thought a punishment, if you were whipped, spanked with a belt, corporal punishment. I always thought that was that is a punishment. But apparently he was still being, no, Dolly doesn't have lipstick. That's just a saying. No, that's just a saying she says. It costs a lot of money to look this cheap. I was just saying that. That's whenever she is, or he rather, is at the table and he says Sebastian's mad because of what, had been going on. And the CPS lady shows up. And then he says, the CPS lady tells him, December was the one where it was this story and it was this story and they all got mixed into one. And so we got it sorted out. And then allegedly January is the belt one. I can't understand why on earth that you would whip a child, much less a child that is 15 years old, much less a child that is 15 years old with a chromosome deletion, much less a child that is 15 years old with a chromosome deletion with autism that forgot a stupid belt. No, Lori, honey, you're not blocked. That forgot a stupid belt. That's the worst thing he has ever done in 8 years. For him to get a whipping with a belt, that's the worst thing. You're telling me, Mr. Foot, in 8 years that this child, you have been around Sebastian, that he forgot his belt and that he lied to you about not wearing a damn belt. And like I always say, why do people lie? Why do they lie? Why do people lie? Because they don't want to get in trouble. Right? You forgot your belt today. Okay, make sure you don't forget it tomorrow. How about that? Yes, it's too old to be spanked. I mean, I think, in my opinion, spanking a child is egregious, but I don't understand it. I just don't understand it. I mean, I know a lot of us were spanked as kids. It was a different time, but it solves nothing. Miss Vu, I agree. I think that is a story, in my opinion. I also don't believe it was one time. I also believe it wasn't one time. And if CPS came there at dinner time, that's unusual. Am I wrong? Not necessarily. It's not unusual. No. Mm-mm. No. Moving on to February. This is when the foot leaves. On February 5th. February 5th. Mr. Foot leaves. On February 6th, 2 lines. 2 lines are disconnected. Now, from almost the beginning, we have heard that there was Rocky. Look at Castle's comment. How far up is it? Let me see. Justin, I worked in investigations with CPS. They visited Sebastian at school. Yes. And then the same day went to the Proudfoots and set a parenting plan in place, and Chris had to leave. Yeah. Yes. Yep. I agree with that, in my opinion. I 100% agree with that, in my opinion. But that's my opinion. And that's all I can say on that. But yes, I do believe that he had to leave. And I believe, in my opinion, that is the reason he will not tell us why from the 5th till the morning he went missing. Notice, it's right in front of us, y'all. He says, I left at the beginning of February, and I didn't come back until Sebastian was missing, the morning he went missing. He is saying that he hasn't seen Sebastian since the 5th, which could, in my opinion, at least, play a role, allegedly, into the CPS. Because if you're not supposed to see, be around the child, well, then you never saw them. You didn't see him from the 5th, and you didn't see him the morning you came there because he was already gone. and she was already gone. This happens quite a bit. This happens throughout. This is one thing that CPS does throughout, from what I understand, the United States. Some of y'all know, my best girlfriend, Tanya, she has worked for CPS for 20 years or more. And I've asked her a lot of questions. And I believe, this is my opinion, Mag 50, thank you so much. Mother Chicken will pay the piper, and that's no joke. Honest, most drama-free live. Justin the Bomb. Thank you, my dear. Thank you, my dear. Love you to pieces. You know that. Thank you, Mag. This is my opinion. Yes. I believe, and even the neighbors have said that they have stated rather that there was, it was rocky, their relationship, right? They were having marital trouble, allegedly. So the 5th, you don't tell us why you leave. You know, you might say work, but you can't say if you was home or not home or whatever. Well, the 6th, 2 lines are disconnected. What happens whenever you break up or you're pissed? What happens? Oh, honey, you're on my phone plan. Not today, Satan. Not today, Satin. Nope. Nope. Yes, Tina. The 6, 2 lines are cut. Now, okay, Soldier Girl. And Mr. Foot, in my opinion, in this theory, no, Barb, you're not blocked. You're not blocked, hun. In this theory, I'm done. This is 2 in 2 months. This is 2 in 2 months. It's him or me. It's him or me. And I think there was a lot of struggle in KK's heart. I really do. FBI, open up! I really do think that there was a lot of struggle, to be honest. And I think there was this back and forth. Now, from what I understand, what people that I have spoke to that know Chris, from Memphis say he was done. Now, KK is, what's she going to do? That's why they were. Huh? That most, perhaps. But I don't think it was quick enough. I don't think they wanted to tell Seth. They didn't want to tell Seth, in my opinion. And they didn't want to tell him, in my opinion, because what? Well, they allegedly said that Seth wasn't part of his life in the first, I guess, the first time they were there. Right? Because the court case needed to move on it. Yeah. Yep. And so I believe something happened. Something happened. I don't know if I don't know who, but I believe whoever did this is familiar with Sebastian. Very, very familiar. I wonder if CPS was called to their old address in White House. I don't know. I really believe Sebastian was alive up until that interview with Seth when CP asked him about Sebastian May being unalive. That broke me. Yeah, what are you going to do if this goes south? That one? Domestic fight gone wrong between mom and stepdad and Sebastian. Very possible. Another realm. Very possible. Something was, and I really believe Katie felt torn. I really do. And someone did something. Thank you, Tina. Thank you, dear. Someone did something. I do believe that, in my opinion, just my opinion, but I do believe more are involved. Certainly believe more involved. Saying there had been numerous calls to 911 to the feed home, drunking, fighting, arguing. Very possible. But the good thing is that justice is going to come for this case. Laura, I do believe this will be solved. And when I say solved, I mean there'll be a form of resolution. Now, what I also believe is that, and I mean this, guys, and I understand Seth. I mean, I'm sure, yeah, I know he gets, it's, yesterday wasn't soon enough, right? But I do believe they are building a case. You have one fucking shot. You have one shot for a case. There's no double jeopardy, right? You have one shot to convict, charge, and convict whoever did this. So would you rather charges to come in 3 or 6 months and be arrested and nothing? Or would it rather be waiting until they have everything in place? Whether, hopefully they can find Sebastian. That would speed things up quite a lot. People will say, well, just focus on Sebastian. And there's two ways to go, with a missing persons case. One, to figure out where Sebastian is, you have to figure out what happened to Sebastian, right? The people that was around him, right? And so you got to mention those people. Or Sebastian is found and you work backwards. But we don't have Sebastian at this point. So we have to work from the morning or the night onward. Can you imagine the fear Nina has? No, I can't, because I spoke with someone that Mr. Foot was really nasty to, and I mean really nasty. And it's recorded. He has no idea that it was being recorded. And this person was petrified when this happened. And she said she saw Satan. The look that came over him. But still terrified. So there's that. Lindsay, what you gonna do when they come for you? Sebastian's army will not back down. Prayers for Sebastian and Seth. Amen. Amen. Thank you so much for continuing with next video. Thank you, my dear. And my dear Truth Fruit. Thank you, Lovey. Justin, if the PF told CPS that Seth was not involved in Sebastian's life, I'm wondering if CP had gotten into it with Seth before over Sebastian's treatment. Is the only reason not to tell CPS about Seth as required by law. I don't know. I just don't think I don't know. I just don't think that they wanted him to know, Seth to know. I don't know. So, it took an attorney to get the reports for the bio father, and even a lot of stuff was still redacted, even in that. One thing I wanted to speak about is that timeline. And it's very important because last night, Truth Sleuth, hold on, Justin, I think they implied Seth was not in his life. Okay, implied, which couldn't be the further, thing from the truth. But I want to show you something here, and it's extraordinarily interesting because this is what Truth Sleuth was speaking about. And I think it was Hey Jude or one of them sent me this. And I could not agree more with the caller that was on Pascal's here.
But
Credit goes to Pascal. Could mods
so
drop that?
that's weird. Now,
Bear with me so I can pop this. Come on.
She's doing and I said she's doing her Meryl Streep, and he's doing the the strong strong like bull. We're gonna hold it down, kind of. But then this is the part that kind of knew up with Seth Rogers, the biological father. Get ready for that interview. It's very telling. Blah blah blah. Bomb Brian. Speaker box I can think of, right?
Christopher Proudfoot made a comment under that video and said, "What is the hard question you want to ask?"
Oh, I didn't see that. On
round started. Okay, then I'm wrong in that.
Okay. Yeah. Camera into a landfill in Kentucky, and they were looking in a landfill in Kentucky for like a day or two, and then they shut everything down as far as searching in the landfill.
1 second.
So, and one last thing I want to say,
Okay,
I've caught things that they said that don't make any sense.
1 second. Just listen to this, y'all. It's very important. If my internet will go. Okay, there we go.
But then at the same time,
so
it's just killing me, man. It's killing me. But go ahead, fiance.
We were talking about this today on her stream, and it's it's a situation to me where I look at this and I go, the only way to cure suspicion is complete transparency. When I look at the dad and I listen to the dad, Seth, do interviews or on your show, right, and talk to you, he's very transparent in what he thinks, how he feels, things that he's done. The only reference we've got that the parent.
Yes, Seth is transparent and has been transparent, but that's not what I want to show you.
I'm sorry, the
it's
mom
what
and the
the
stepdad
lady
come
says
out
here
and talk. It doesn't seem like they're out there trying to be fully transparent. They give the perception of being on the defense from, and I could understand maybe if they're concerned with the attacks from social media and stuff like that. I guess I could kind of get that, but I can't really get it either because me personally, I wouldn't care.
Well, and one last thing I want to say, I've caught things that they said that don't make any sense.
Right here.
The stepdad is the one that said he called the sheriff's office, right?
Yeah, and then the three-way
called on a three-way call. But then you hear him say, and I was present for most of that. That's a lie. If you started a three-way call, you couldn't end that three-way call without the mom being disconnected from the sheriff's office.
You said it. I had to put that in there. I'm sorry.
Social media and stuff like that. I guess I could kind of get that, but I can't really get it either because me personally, I wouldn't care.
Well, and one last thing I want to say, I've
Sure.
caught things
'Cause
that
we're
they
gonna talk
said
about
that
that.
don't make any sense. The stepdad is the one that said he called the sheriff's office, right?
Yeah, and then
he
the
said
three-wayed
that
it.
he called on a three-way call. But then you hear him say, and I was present for most of that. That's a lie. If you started a three-way call, you couldn't end that three-way call without the mom being disconnected from the sheriff's office.
You said it. I had to put that in there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But damn. That's big. That's a big.
So remember that the sister said they've been searching since 6:30. Since 6:30. One second.
Big deal. I mean, if you call, you're right. Right. If you
all for most of the out of three sheriff's office. And just last thing I want to say, I've
Sure.
caught things that they said that don't make any sense. The stepdad is the one that said he called the sheriff's office, right?
Yeah, and then
he
the three-wayed
said
it.
that he called on a three-way call. But then you hear him say, and I was present for most of that. That's a lie. If you started a three-way call, you couldn't end that three-way call without the mom being disconnected from the sheriff's office.
You said it. I had to put that in there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But damn. That's big. That's a big deal. I mean, if you.
Okay, so we got that. The problem here is, remember the 550 where some sock was seen at Worsham's or the gas station or wherever the hell that place is, down the street, down the road, at 550, right? Now think about this. If she says she was already speaking to Chris when she gets in her car, the sister says that they have been searching since 6:30 yesterday, right? 6:30 yesterday. Let me find that. Just bear with me as I look this up. I can't remember what page I put it on. But it's very, very important. Okay, here it is. Here it is. She says, CP pay clues, $1,000 for billboards. Awesome. He should. He should pay a lot more than that. But the truth always comes out. It's your birthday, Gypsy girl. Happy birthday, my dear. Happy birthday, everyone. Please tell Gypsy girl happy birthday. I'll make sure I sing to you. Marilyn Monroe, thank you. Positive hope, my dear. Appreciate you very much. And Jackie, mommy. Mommy. Okay. This was written February 27th, the day after Sebastian goes missing, at 5:52 in the morning. Hey everyone, this is my nephew. He is high functioning verbal autistic. He walked out of the house, not he may, but he walked out of the house in the middle of the night with his glasses. It's kind of odd to say, a small flashlight, and no shoes. We have been searching since 6:30 a.m. yesterday, almost 24 hours on the dot. Since 6:30 a.m. yesterday. So we're going back to that call. Well, if she calls Mr. Foot at 12 or at 6 a.m., 6:03 a.m. Hold on. What is that, Jennifer, from New Jersey? Why is cost? I don't know what you mean by that, honey. If she called Mr. Foot at 6:03 p.m., 6:03 a.m., and they're, on the phone, right? Like they say they are, immediately, she says, or Chris says, immediately, done, call the cops, because that's what we're supposed to do. That's what he says. Then how did Mommy Foot and Sister Foot, how did they know that Sebastian was missing? And how did Mommy and Sissy Foot get to their house when they live 25 minutes away? Because they would have had to have been called before 6 a.m. They would have had to have been called before 6 a.m., in my opinion. I don't know what photo y'all were talking about. Yeah. They were there at 7:03 when police arrived. Yeah. They say they were there since 6:30. Dusty garbage, I agree. The photo in her post. Oh, someone wrote photoshopped? What do you mean? What, this? I don't know. But let's see here. We can do to help. Then sharing. Bear with me. Or do they have contact? Looking for something. I don't think she says anything there. Right. They post this February 27th at 5:05 p.m. Melissa does, but this is not the night the day before, even when Sebastian went missing. Something is wrong. Very, very wrong. The time that they left this Texas roadhouse. Yes, Red Robin. That was a Red Robin. Where is I see you? I don't see her. I don't know. She's probably doing something. We can dive deeply into everything. In my opinion, the Sox know everything. I believe that I don't know, but I believe that there is multiple people involved. Yes, why did she even post that? I don't know. Katie, I don't know. Let me go to this. So we were looking this morning when I was live. We were doing a little study session, and I wanted to know the absolute earliest that Sebastian, that it was put out into the world that he was missing. And the earliest I can find is at 9:09 a.m. So that would be 3 hours and 9 minutes after the well, that would be 2 hours and 9 minutes after police shows up. So, that's pretty good timing. This was taken on February 29th. Let me find it here. Guys, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. Greatly appreciate it, my friends.
Urge the public to check their property for any sign of Sebastian.
Yeah, Michael Warwick is live in Hendersonville, where
February
investigators
29th.
remain hopeful to find that 15-year-old.
That's right. And to this point, there has been no trace of Sebastian since investigators say he walked away from his Hendersonville home sometime late Sunday night or early Monday morning. Not only have dogs been unable to pick up a scent on the 15-year-old, but investigators also say when we asked
Hold on, hear that again.
Has there been some sort of sighting of Sebastian? Dogs been unable late Sunday night or early Monday morning. Not only have dogs been unable to pick up a scent on the 15-year-old, but investigators also say when we asked them specifically, has there been some sort of sighting of Sebastian? They told me there has not been a confirmed sighting of Sebastian on camera. Here is the
Nothing seen on camera. This is day 4. And there have been nothing, no scent at all. That is Sebastian's.
The pitch from the Sumner County Sheriff's Office on how folks can help tonight.
Really wanted to come to the community and ask for your help. We need you to search your properties every day, morning and night. If there's a shed or a crawl space or up under your mobile home or a tarp that's in your yard, check it every morning and check it every night.
And the Sheriff's Office says Sebastian's family has been very cooperative. Search crews actually, in just the first 2 days, covered more than
Cooperated doesn't mean cleared.
2,000 miles by foot, and right now are working on plans to include the public in an
Hey, Tony.
organized search effort. Those plans have not been announced just yet. Back to you.
Cooperation does not mean cleared. We need to remember that. Does not mean cleared. When's the last time CP say Sebastian hold on, what did that say? This was the day before, the 27th. The day he had been missing 24 hours at this point, maybe even less than 24 hours. No scent and no cameras. That should be considered. Well, yes, and others that have said there's no evidence that anyone did anything. And I tell them that's the entire problem. That is the entire problem. There should be evidence. If you walk away, you should have a scent. Sebastian had his scent inside. He had his scent in the driveway. He had his scent in the backyard, which means he should have his scent if he walked off. You can't you can't hide your scent. You can't walk out of that neighborhood unless someone got you on camera.
In Sumner County, a large search is underway
This is
for
the
a missing
27th.
teen.
The TBI issued an Amber Alert today for 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers. He's been missing since Sunday, and our Danielle Ledbetter is live where that search continues. Danielle, what can you tell us right now?
Lauren Marius. So the officials told us they are concerned about that change of weather headed our way tomorrow. They told us they're most concerned about what Sebastian is wearing. He was last seen in all black. They said the weather, it may impact their search efforts a little bit. They'll have to start using devices.
So, Sharon, that wasn't Sebastian's scent that led to the pond. There was multiple dogs. There was a scent, but it wasn't Sebastian's scent. Thank you, Maui-san. Appreciate that. There was a scent, but not Sebastian's scent. There's been nothing to state that he walked off anywhere. And let me tell you, if he walked off like that, the way it said, which is ironically the way the car went, and the way the people walking and the people walking to that house and back went. Just saying. Just saying. But two dogs went that way. I believe it is a familiar scent, but wasn't Sebastian's.
That detect body heat as well. So we've been out here all day long, and community members have all shown up to this command center wanting to help. One man told us that this hits close to home.
My cousin also has autism, and he's ran away before, and it's not nearly as long as this, and it's just very concerning, and we just want to do as much as we can to help.
Now, this search is not public. First responders say they have this search under control for now, but they did tell us they may open it up to the public later. They did say if you want to help, you can help by sharing Sebastian's picture on social media. You can also check your doorbell ring cameras. They told us they believe that's what will.
That's right. Survey says, bingo, Mohawk, the play-by-play CP gave narc divers. Yes, that one. That one.
Lead to a break in this case. Back to you guys in the studio.
Okay, Danielle Ledbetter out there tonight where the search is.
Lots of searching, right? No, that's not Sebastian's cousin. No. That was just a person that was saying that they had a cousin with autism who. So there's that. This one was on
unfolding right now as crews are scouring parts of Sumner County for signs of Sebastian Rogers. Now, he's the 15-year-old teenager who's disappeared from his home. This is just over 5 weeks ago. Thanks for joining us here on WSMV4 at 12:30. I'm Holly Thompson.
And I'm Amanda Harris. So hundreds of people are involved in a new search effort happening right now. But as Joylyn Bukovac reports, there are no new leads so far today.
There are crews here from across Middle Tennessee who are out here right now searching for Sebastian Rogers. We have the TBI and Nashville's Office of Emergency Management here, along with
It's a little low.
Smyrna and Rutherford emergency crews. They've been searching around homes off of Long Hollow Pike near Shackle Island, where investigators say Sebastian.
Yes, that is true. That is true. A scent can go through. There have been dogs out there that have followed a car just because they can smell the person through the car. It's extraordinary. Yep, I do remember that one. This one's, I'm trying to, let me see if it'll.
Was last seen weeks ago. I've been told search crews have not found any evidence or trace of Sebastian yet, but they plan on searching for the next couple of days. Their command center is set up right here at Long Hollow Church. Reporting in Sumner County, I'm Joylyn Bukovac, WSMV4.
I'm calling because I'm in front of my school.
The person who lay motionless in the rain was 16-year-old Cameron Day.
He was extraordinary. He was humble. He was loving.
Wrong one. Sorry. This was
That's
it.
right.
This is the
and
one.
to this point, there has been no trace of Sebastian since investigators say he walked away from his Hendersonville home sometime late Sunday night or early Monday morning. Not only have dogs been unable to pick up a scent on the 15-year-old, but investigators also say, when we asked them specifically, has there been some sort of sighting of Sebastian? They told me there has not been a confirmed sighting of Sebastian on camera. Here is the pitch from the Sumner County Sheriff's Office on how folks can help tonight.
Really wanted to come to the community and ask for your help. We need you to search your properties every day, morning and night. If there's a shed or a crawl space or up under your mobile home or a tarp that's in your yard, check it every morning and check it every night.
I see you people were asking about you.
And the Sheriff's Office says Sebastian's family has been very cooperative. Search crews actually, in just the first 2 days, covered more than 2,000 miles by foot, and right now are working on plans to include the public in an organized search effort. Those plans have not been announced just yet.
So lots and lots and lots and lots of searching, right? And still nothing to this very day. 7 months later, nothing. And these two have not done an interview for their child, for Katie's child, the mother of Sebastian. Has
I can't even imagine as a parent what you two are going through. How
hold
would you
on.
describe the situation right now? How are you coping?
Hold on, I'll go back to the other one. That one's so low. Do you remember the searcher's name? She removed her comment off narc divers inform. I don't know, but people have been chased off. They have been this is what I wanted. This is the one I wanted. Where they talk about that morning, because I think we might be able to get a little bit of, how should I say it? I'll let them say it. Of that morning. Listen to this.
The night he disappeared, is there anything snacks and things? He wasn't here at the end of the driveway. I got a call and asked if I could. of Sebastian's disappearance. Kind of walk through that day.
Sunday, the day before he went missing.
Now we're going to be listening for that morning.
We got up and, fun fact, I made breakfast that morning.
Spaghetti pancakes. Google it, y'all. Google it. Googly moogly it.
We had a good time. We were laughing. We were joking. He talked to family on the phone during breakfast to brag. We went and picked up our niece. Yeah, I got a call and asked if I could go and pick her up, and I did. And so we went and did that. And we went to BJ's. Had a good time there. He ate a colossal popcorn. Came home to put groceries away because we bought snacks because, he's 15 and snacks.
Snacks.
We went to the bowling alley. And then from there, we went to dinner. Came home. He took out the trash because that's his chore. He takes the can to the end of the driveway. About 9 o'clock, told him to go to bed. And he's come out of his room where he was playing, and he said, "All right, good night, Mama. Good night, puppies. I love you." And went to bed.
Hold on. Let me just wait something. Wait.
And he's come out of his room where he was playing, and he said, "All right, good night, Mama. Good night, puppies. I love you." And went.
So he comes out of his room. And that's when he says, "Good night, Mama. Good night, puppies. Good night, Mama. Good night, puppies. I love you."
To bed. He was doing something in his room because about an hour later I heard some noise and I was like, "I don't care what you're doing in there, but go to sleep."
That sentence doesn't make sense. I don't care what you're doing in there, but go to sleep. You obviously care if you're telling him to go to sleep, right? I don't care what you're doing in there, but go to sleep. You say, "What are you doing in there? Go to sleep." I haven't looked yet, my dear, but I'll look.
And about midnight, I got up and I went to bed. And 6 o'clock, I went to wake him up for school.
Hold
Monday
on.
morning,
I just thought of
and
something.
that's when he wasn't here. Some noise, and I was like, he was doing something in his room because about an hour later I heard some noise, and I was like, "I don't care what you're doing in there, but go to sleep."
So let's think about this. If she gave him medicine and he told her at 9 o'clock, "Good night, Mom. Going to bed. Good night, puppies." You would think that medicine was, kicking in. I mean, it doesn't take an hour. Yes, Trishy, very much so. Right? But she's saying at 10 o'clock, he's still in there, messing around, making sounds. I don't buy that, personally. And in another interview, she says she called him if he was doing something, and he said, "It's nothing, go to sleep." And I just found that odd. A kid simply doesn't tell mom, "Go to sleep." Yeah. I'm doing reflections off the picture. that is above CP's head. Glass will reflect to see who's in the green shirt. No thud, just noises. Yeah. There's a difference between a thud and something else, right? Much difference.
And about midnight, I got up and I went to bed. And 6 o'clock, I went to wake him up for school Monday morning. And that's when he wasn't here.
What was going through your mind at that point? Like, what were the feelings that you were feeling?
To censor myself. Holy freaking crap, this can't be happening. Where is my
You don't censor yourself.
kid? Choice words were used. Like, where the F is he? I had looked through the house for him because it was typical for him to get up and come and rummage for snacks and things like that. And he likes to dip behind the, walls and watch, and then he comes out after I come back and he likes to scare me. But, after I looked, and I mean, mind you, all of this took place in like 1 minute flat. But
1 minute flat. Now listen to this.
I didn't see him in his room. I looked all over. I ran through the whole house. I looked out all the doors and windows, and I was like hollering his name. And
the doors, the windows, look throughout the house, all of that in 1 minute flat. Now, it's about to get weird. It's about to get uncomfortable.
I picked up the phone and I called my husband and I said, I can't find him. And he said, what do you mean? I said, he's not in this effing house.
So, after the 1 minute, she gets in her car and she calls her husband. Well, that is about 6:03 a.m. 6:03 a.m. So, how did the family arrive at 6:30 when they live almost 30 minutes away themselves? When was that call? When was that call?
I can't find our son. And
I get a call.
I jumped in my car and I drove around the neighborhood and I drove over by the school and he's
Anxiety.
already at this point I was like hysterical.
Okay. She cuts herself off there because she knows.
And I jumped in my car and I drove around the neighborhood and I drove over by the school.
But KK, did you really drive through the neighborhood? Did you? Did you really drive through the neighborhood?
And he's already at this point.
Who's he? Who is he? That black box is the... Who is he. He's already. Well, it can't be Sebastian. Can't be Sebastian. Because he's missing. Who's he? Because they use a lot of he's.
I was like hysterical over by the school, and he's already like
He's already, and he's already.
At this point, I was like hysterical, and I was crying, I was screaming, and he was like,
Now watch. Watch this. Because she was already anxious. She is already anxious here. Already. And that's why she said, in my opinion, I was screaming, I was hysterical because it's a filler and it suits it, right? But she's doing this. Now, that cough, she's really bad at this, in my opinion. And this is why she doesn't speak. This is why she doesn't speak. Watch this. Watch the, after he coughs, she says he's already again. But then she's going to pause. And then she's going to think. It's a lot. Yes, Brandy. Lots of adrenaline. Three-wayed. We three-wayed.
like by the school, and he's already like at this point, I was like hysterical, and I was crying, I was screaming, and he was like,
He was like,
screaming, and he was like,
pause.
Three-wayed. He three-wayed law enforcement, and was telling them like our son is missing, and we don't know.
Oh, I just now noticed something else as well. She's saying he was like, and she is saying this very often. But the he that she is referring to right now, he three-wayed. He three-wayed, and that is Chris. She's referring to Chris in the three-way here. Who is she referring into the he was already in the other 2 or 3 times that she's already said it? Asking. Oh, I don't think it's Sebastian personally. No, I don't think that he's already. I think she's referring to.
What's going three-wayed. He three-wayed law enforcement.
See how
He's
she
on
does
my
that?
car, and I drove around the neighborhood, and I drove over by the school,
Watch this.
and he's already like at this point, I was like hysterical, and I was crying, I was screaming, and he was like,
He was like,
three-wayed. He three-wayed law enforcement.
three-wayed. He three-wayed law enforcement. Well, the only person that said that they three-wayed law enforcement was the foot next to her, Edgar. Yes, another realm. Certainly is. Tap, tap, tap. Three-wayed. He three-wayed. And the person she is referring to, the he, is him. But she kept saying he was already, he was already, he was already. That was. I don't know. I don't know, B&D. Don't know. But the he she is referring to is the foot.
Christopher!
That's who she's referring to in the he.
And like at this point, I was like hysterical and I was crying, I was screaming, and he was like, three-wayed. He three-wayed law enforcement and was telling them like our son is missing and we don't know what's going on. And he was like, go back to the house, they're on their way. And I ran back.
Go back to the house, they're on their way. You think? You're on the phone with them. What the hell? I mean, what are you? You're on a three-way call, mother chicken. You're on a three-way call. Why does he need to tell you? That the police are on their way. On a three-way call, everyone can hear. Everyone can hear. She ran, drove back to the house. It's also interesting how at 3 a.m., there actually is someone running back toward the house. It's amazing to me. If people can't see this, that something is, in my opinion, clearly wrong. Thank you, Lauren. We love having you. Thank you, True Sleuth. You are so good to me. That's so cool. KP said, holy freaking crap, this can't be happening. Where is my kid? Choice words were used, like you know where the F he is. You know, I had looked through the house for who did KP call. Oh, we need to go back to that. We need to go back to that. Yes. Hey, Irony. How are you, darling? Irony. The more you go through these interviews, the crazier they sound. Mm-hmm.
Well, he was like, and he was like, three-wayed. He three-wayed law enforcement and was telling them like our son is missing and we don't know what's going on. And he was like, go back to the house, they're on their way. And I drove back to the house and
ran. In my opinion.
20 days later, we haven't found him.
Yeah, I can't even imagine how stressful that is. And also, like when we were driving up here, like this neighborhood is so pretty and nice. And do you think, has he ever like walked away before? Or like has that ever happened? It's just no, first time.
He's not a child that wanders.
It is.
He's not one that is
he doesn't have a history of being an eloper, which is common. And I have friends with children on the spectrum who do struggle with elopement with their children. But no, Sebastian, that's one thing. It's always been a blessing.
All right, we're going to go back to the holy freaking crap part because True Sleuth made a good observation here.
Come out of his room where he was away.
Wait a second.
About 9 o'clock. Told him to go to bed.
Look at her left
come
hand.
out of his room where he was playing, and he said, "All right, good night, Mama. Good night, puppies. Love you."
Happy
And
birthday.
went to bed. He was doing something in his room because about an hour later I heard some noise, and I was like, "I don't care what you're doing in there, but go to sleep." And about midnight, I got up and I went to bed. And 6 o'clock, I went to wake him up for school Monday morning, and that's when he wasn't here. What was going through your mind at that point? Like, what were the feelings that you were feeling? To censor myself. Holy freaking crap, this can't be happening. Where is my kid?
Holy freaking crap, this can't be happening. Where is my kid? Choice words were used. Like
Choice words were used. Like, where the F is he?
Like, where the F is he? I called my
I had looked through the house.
Oh, I never noticed that, Truth Sleuth. Good job. Good job. Oh my God. I had called my. Who did you call before that? In my opinion. Who did you call before that? 6 o'clock. Huh? I had called my. I'll give you multiple choice answers. Baby's daddy. Baby daddy? Okay. Sister's nephew? MIL? Oh, okay. Okay. Wondering. There we go. Is that what happened? But is that how they got there by 6:30? Is that how they got there by 6:30? Yes. Give Truth Sleuth give her. So is that how we did it, honey? Whose house is Is this the in-law? I don't know.
Can't be happening. What was going through your mind at that point? Like, what were the feelings that you were feeling? To censor myself. Holy freaking crap, this can't be happening. Where is my kid?
Thank you, Cassie.
Choice words were used. Like, where the F is he?
Is this what she's saying on the phone?
I had called my.
I had called my. Oh. Mm-hmm. 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 Did you call anybody at, I don't know, Worships? Well, it had to be before 6 a.m. Like we were speaking about. Where's my kid? Yes, distancing. Yes. Oh, let me tell you something. Law enforcement knows this. Listen. Listen. There will be justice. I know that there will
Looked
be
through
justice.
he, choice words were used. Like, where the F is he, I had called my,
I had, she cut
looked
herself
is
off there.
he, I had looked through the house for him.
This is why she doesn't do interviews. This is why she doesn't do interviews, in my opinion.
I had looked through the house for him because it was typical for him to get up, and I had looked through the house for him.
I had looked through the well, little Mimi said she was there at 6:30 that morning. And she didn't call 911.
Because it was typical, like, where the F is he, I had looked through the house for him because it was typical for him to get up and come and rummage for snacks and things like that. And he likes to dip behind the, walls and
You too, True
watch,
Seven.
and then he comes out after I come back and he likes to scare me. But
yes, lying, you have to concentrate.
after I looked, and I mean, mind you, all of this took place in like 1 minute flat. But I didn't see him in his room. I looked all over. I ran through the whole house. I looked out all the doors and windows, and I was like hollering his name. And I picked up the phone and I called my husband, and I said, I can't find him. And he said, what do you mean? I said, he's not in this effing house. I can't find our son. And I jumped in my car and I drove around the neighborhood and I drove over by the school, and he's already like.
That's the first he's already. And someone said, look at her hand. 1 minute, not 3 minutes in this one. Yes, 1 minute. Tina, I agree. This is when Edgar said, not happening again. Not happening again. Hey, Crime Time Buzz. Good to see you. He comes out after I come back. What do you mean? Did I miss something? Yes.
I can't find our son. And I jumped in my car and I drove around the neighborhood and I drove over by the school, and he's already.
That's the first he's already.
At this point, I was like hysterical.
Look how she stops.
I was crying, and he's already at this point, I was like hysterical.
Shakes her
I was
head.
crying, I was screaming, and
it is, in my opinion, as well, Lisa. It's like, at this point, it's like, it's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Thank you, Crime Time Buzz. Appreciate that.
He was like,
He was like,
three.
watch your fingers.
He was like,
What look
scream.
this is where he's gonna cough. That's going to only intensify her anxiety. It is family. Yes, it's hard to keep up, right? Especially because there can be no room for error. And we are humans. We are flawed. Every single one of us. All of us. And there can be no room. And there is only one thing that is for sure. We will screw it up when we are maybe not telling the truth on certain things.
And he's already like, at this point, I was like hysterical and I was crying, I was
Watch the
screaming.
cough. She's gonna pause.
And he was like,
She said that he was like, as I believe, almost subconsciously, because she said he was like, just very, while she was thinking.
three-wayed. He three-wayed law enforcement. And
again, the he right here is the first he that she is referencing, meaning Chris, that we can identify who he is. He was like, and she would just start on a new sentence. He was like, and she would just start on a new sentence. But he three-wayed. Well, who do we know three-wayed? Well, Chris. He three-wayed. So the other 3 or 4 he was already, or he was like, she didn't complete that. But the first one that we know we can fit to an individual is Mr. Foot. Now, the he cannot be Sebastian because she doesn't know where he is. So he can't like anything, or he can't be anything because she doesn't know where he is. You get it?
was telling them like, our son is missing and we don't know what's going on. And he was like, go back to the house, they're on their way. And I ran back, drove back.
And that's where he was like, obviously that would be Chris, in my opinion, because says she's on a 3-way phone call with him. He told me to go back to the house. They're on their way. If you're on a 3-way phone call with them, he doesn't need to tell you to run back. He doesn't need to tell you to go back. They're going to tell you, we are on our way. Right? And I ran back, drove. Well, I will say 3 hours, or actually about 2.5 hours or so before, about 3 hours, we'll just give it 3 hours before this phone call, there was someone indeed running back toward her home. And they do not come back out. Now, That person could not have been Sebastian, right? Couldn't have been Sebastian. Because he's missing. And she makes a point to say, well, drove.
To that went on, and he was like, go back to the house, they're on their way. And I ran back, drove back to the house, and 20 days later we haven't found him. God, yeah, I can't even imagine how stressful that is.
Yes, Scarlett, actually I have called, and they tell you you've reached, I've got it recorded, I've played it actually on here. They tell you to, if this is an emergency, please hang up and dial 911.
And also, like when we were driving up here, like this neighborhood is so pretty and nice. And do you think, has he ever like walked away before, or like has that ever happened? It's just no, first time.
He's not a child that wanders. He's not one that is
He doesn't have a history of being an eloper, which is common. And I have friends with children on the spectrum who do struggle with elopement with their children, but no, Sebastian.
Holy moly, Truth Sleuth, my sister, goodness gracious. So I didn't see these. I'm apologies. Serenity, my love. I wonder if CP and KP have watched these interviews to see how many red flags they threw up. They are full of red flags. Seriously, Ray Charles could see this, in my opinion. You're so right. And I honestly believe this is when there was no more interviews for her without anybody. Nobody can be like, she is Fort Knox to Christopher, in my opinion. Castle, thank you so much, my friend. Really do appreciate you. Love you very much. Good to see you. Very generous of you. True Sleuth, good Lord, child. You are so intelligent and so good to me. That's just amazing. Thank you, my sister. KP woke up at 6 a.m. to wake Sebastian. CP says he's on the phone with KP before 6 a.m. in his crane text Seth at 6:22 while looking in the house. Drives through the neighborhood, she says, the school, and on a three-way with sheriff, plus home by 6:30 a.m. Now KP makes another call to someone. Impossible. KP wakes up at 6 a.m. to wake Sebastian. KP says he's on the phone. Chris says he's on the phone with KK before 6 a.m. In his crane, he texts Seth at 6:22 in the morning. While she's looking in the house, she drives through the neighborhood. Well, I don't, in my opinion, I don't think she drives all the way through the neighborhood. In my opinion, the school, I wonder if she went in the school. Did she get out of the car at the school? I wonder, because there's lots of cameras at that school. I've checked. And on a three-way with the sheriff's office. And home by 6:30. Also by 6:30, Truth Sleuth, Sissy's there. Sissy and Cruella. Sissy and Cruella, right? Cruella socks. Now, KP makes another call to someone. Impossible. Yes. It is impossible to make all those calls. Yes. Yes. I am telling you guys, I am telling you, we have to find this child, Sebastian Dwayne Drake Rogers. He, in my opinion, is somewhere very well hidden from this world. Who hid him? I don't know. But I believe he is hidden by someone that knows him very well, in my opinion. See her in baby blue car. Well, I'll just say.
And that's one thing. It's always been a you're being an eloper, which is common. And I have friends with children on the spectrum who do struggle with
That thing you
elopement with
caught
their
a little bit
children. But
ago,
no, Sebastian, that's one thing. It's always been a
truthfully,
blessing. He's
that's
not been an eloper
phenomenal.
or a runner. His primary areas are like social and emotional dysregulation issues and things like that.
So, TC, I want to answer this. Totally off topic, but nobody ever mentions taking the dogs out at night or in the morning. Your kids are small, but their backyard fence looks like those little dogs could get through it. They have puppy pads, from what I understand. Allegedly, I'll even say allegedly they have puppy pads. Those vicious arm biters, on Popeye's arms, those Morkies, so mean, right? And that is allegedly, Mr. Foot says, I'm tired of the house smelling like piss. Carmen, from what I understand, yes. Yes. Which is interesting. If they were allegedly in Oregon, it's very close to, Washington. Yes, they were.
But he's very smart. He's functional. Overall, he's a pretty happy kid. I mean, he's a teenager. He's coming into his hormones. He's
You're fine, honey.
angry.
We
He's
don't care
growing
about
a
we don't care about the
mustache.
caps here.
For the most part, he's a happy kid. And
Thank
what are
you,
your
Irony. Thank
theories?
you, my dear.
I'm sure your mind just thought of every possible thing that could have happened, but is there any theory that you can talk about that you think?
What I can tell you is with all law enforcement, with everybody that's involved, there's nothing that's been eliminated. Everything is on the table. Everything is being looked at from every possible aspect.
Everything from he got out and walked away and was outside of the search radius before we started searching to the worst. And
that's currently where we're at. I mean, it's
Sorry.
really try not to go down that road because we're gonna find him.
Speculating causes problems.
Wow, how did that happen? How did we go from never mind.
Assumptions.
Okay, now he wants to talk about the speculating. You know what? All he has to do is, I don't know, talk to local news stations. If he wants to clear it up, Fox News, CNN, all of them will talk to you.
Cause issues. And based on facts of what everybody knows, right now, there's nothing, and everything is still on the table to being looked at.
I just know he's out there somewhere. One other question I have is recently Channel 5 in Nashville, they had security footage that showed 2 flashlights.
Watch this.
The night he disappeared. Is there anything?
Okay. 2 things I want you to watch. Number 1, I want you to watch KK withdraw. She's comfortable. And when that question gets ready to be answered, she's going to pull herself in. That is protection. That's being defensive, right? And then you're going to watch both of their breaths.
That you think about this video, or?
Sure. So
here we go.
There's a lot of speculations about it.
Watch this. As KK is exhaling, he is inhaling and then exhales.
So there's a lot of speculations about that video that are floating on the internet. Okay, and that is exactly what it is. So there's a lot of.
Okay. He did a lot of things right there. A lot of things right there. So he's doing a lot of things. Watch this. He smiles. He smiles, right? Because he's giving off a lot of anxiety. He's giving off it's a way to release tension. It's like when people are being interrogated, they're going to sit there and sip when they're nervous. They pull up anything. They need to. Oh yeah, man. Sure. Yeah. Cool. Yep. That's what they do. So he goes, smiles, and then he goes, right, and he kind of gives this laugh, right, and then he goes, and then he goes on his side to get a little bit more comfortable. He's got to get comfortable, and then he goes. So there's a lot of speculation, and that's what it is, just speculation. Well, I don't know about you, but if there was nothing of my child and he took a flashlight, I don't know about you, if I saw a damn flashlight out there, I would be like, praise the Lord and pass the ammunition. Like, seriously, praise the Lord. But that's just speculation, y'all. It's not like anyone ran back to the house, right? It's not like anyone just ran back to the house and didn't come back out. 76 before we get 1,000 thumbs up. If you want a mother chicken party, come on. Time for our daily dose of. Yes, here we go. Watch this. And KK just completely, like, she just goes right in her shell.
So There's a lot of speculations about that video that are floating on the internet. Okay. And that is exactly what it is. It's speculations. Now, what I can give you an official statement on is TBI Newslink has released a statement from law enforcement's.
You hear someone cracking their knuckles? Do you hear that?
Between law enforcement, between local law enforcement, statement from law.
Someone's cracking their knuckles. I believe it's KK. In my opinion, I believe it's KK. Because she's down there, she draws back and she goes, I crack my knuckles. She goes, like that. Right?
TBI Newslink has released a statement from law enforcement, between local law enforcement, state law enforcement, some federal law enforcement, and they have analyzed that video so many times over that everything that everybody is trying to assume is a flashlight, I hate to say this, it's not. As much as we would love it to be one, it's not.
Oh, the mics, they pick up everything. They pick up everything. I'm telling you, they're mic'd.
It's not. As much as we would love it to be one, it's not.
How do you know it's not? How do you know it's not? And then why did the Mr. Craddock say it could be potential down the road? And why did he ask, where did you get that? I know where he got it. I told you where he got it. I didn't tell the person's name that gave it to him, but now CP. CP. Come on. You know better. Hunka burning love. Come on.
I'm not going to go into details as far as where that video is shot from.
Yeah, that's.
But I can tell you,
that's nothing.
As the parents, we have seen the video firsthand from law enforcement. We know exactly where it was taken from.
Just a question. Was that video shown to you whenever you was, I don't know, with in that meeting with TBI? Was it? Were you sitting with anyone special?
And nothing that is being assumed right now is actually true about that video, unfortunately.
He thinks look at this face. Guys, I'm telling you, I hate to call people narcissists. I really do. I think it's way overused. I think just the same as gaslighting. It drives me nuts. He, in my opinion, is as big of a narcissist as they come. right? Because I really think he thinks, oh, they're buying it.
FBI, open up! FBI, open up!
Watch this face. Watch it. Hold on 1 second. I don't want.
Assumed right now is actually true about that video, unfortunately.
Watch him how he does his hands and he blinks very fast.
Anything about any other videos or anything like that, please refer to the TBI news link that they have out there, the updated Amber Alert stuff. And it will give you the most up-to-date information.
He thinks he's just. You get the yeah. Yeah, there you go. You're right, Barb. Dab, rather. You're right on that. Hey, T-Dub. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. I just think they're fooled. I just think the women are just absolutely fooled on him. It's bizarre, man. It's bizarre.
Or anything like that, please refer to the TV that is being assumed right now is actually true about that video.
Watch his hands. He's gonna.
And anything about any other videos or anything like that, please refer to the TBI news link
Look
that
up,
they
Katie.
have out there, the updated Amber Alert stuff. And it will give you the most up-to-date information that all law enforcement has. And they will give you current as far as what's what and how they're looking at things.
And if there's any new video, forward it to them.
Please.
Yes, you would, Grace. Yes, you would. He would be singing, "Stuck on You. Got this feeling down deep in my soul. Yes, I'm on my way."
Yeah. Security footage is really like a game changer. We're working on Riley's strain and trying to find like if someone missed one on a corner or something. So that's
around this neighborhood, and this whole community. I mean, I can tell you that much here. When it comes to the cameras, there has not been one person that has said no. And trust me, it is greatly felt that everybody has been so open, so helpful in pushing out any which way they can. I mean, there's been some families that have actually been on vacation that weren't home, and they got they got permission from that family to take a look at their cameras and go in their houses without them even being present, which has been amazing. So, but yeah.
That's good. If there was something that you could say to Sebastian if he was listening, what would you say?
Oh God. That if you can see this or hear this, that we just want you home, baby, and we love you. And there ain't nothing gonna stop us from coming and getting you and bringing you home.
I can't speak for his father, but I'm pretty.
I mean, if you're 3.5 hours away, it might take a little time.
Be sure we all have the same opinion that we love you, miss you, we want you home. And if you can, call us, get wherever you can, let us know, and we will come get you.
We love you. We miss you. Shirley, thank you, love. That 17-hour CP was missing. He was working on wife number 6, in my opinion. Well, I mean, he was ready to, yes, he can call in right now. I know he's watching, so he watches everything. You can call in, Chris. Here, Chris, I'm going to drop my number. It's only for you. You can call in and prove that you talk to men who disagree. No, he won't. He won't. He's too. He knows. He knows. He knows. Look at whose comments? Castle's last comment. Let's see here. Nothing going to stop. Oh yeah, and saying it's past as well. Where's Castle's? Castle's comment. And that is true as well. They're not going to anybody's house like that. No one would have helped you and KP after all the drama you caused in this neighborhood. Yep. Oh, I know. Trust me. I speak to those neighbors. Listen, none of them. He has caused, allegedly, I'm going to say, so much drama in that neighborhood. Call in, Chris. You're watching. I'll be respectful to you. I won't cuss. I won't yell. That's not me. He will never.
Call 911, run out into the street, go in public, anything. The signs that we've been blessed to have family, friends, and even some in the community that have been helping us, but we've been out spreading those as far as we can, even over state lines, trying to get
over state lines.
awareness
Interesting.
because, not everybody knows that he's missing, and there's a chance that if someone could see him and not even realize who he is. So we want to get his face out there
Smiley,
'cause we
hey
want to
girl.
Surprisingly, even locally, there are some folks that don't even know what's going on. And
Oh,
it's
his
kind of
voice
like
was shaking.
a shocker. Like, how do you not know? It is amazing because in the past couple of weeks, you've got 2 cases. A 15-year-old boy that has vanished without a trace. You've got a 22-year-old 6'4" or 7" college kid from Missouri who has vanished without a trace. That's a huge significance here. That it's like, wow, how? So,
Wow, that's profound. It's like, oh, wow, how? Well, that one's been solved, right? Because there were witnesses and there was lots of cameras.
It's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the college kid is from Missouri, I think.
Yeah, Missouri.
I can only imagine what his family is going through.
It's like your worst nightmare come alive.
Do you guys receive hate on the internet?
Yes, and it's ongoing. It's every single day. People are people, and they have their opinions. Everybody is formulating their idea of what's
I don't
going
care. He
on,
can touch
who's
me from
guilty,
one end to
who's
the
not
other as long as
guilty,
he talks.
because they want to know, or they feel they need to know. There's a difference. Unfortunately, what I will
Listen, we want to know and we need to know, and Seth and the community, and most importantly, Sebastian, deserve to know.
will tell you is that when you're the family in this position and you're working with law enforcement and everything's going the way it goes, people automatically assume this parent or that parent. And in this situation, I can promise you, every single parent has been vetted. I can't go into details, but I can tell you we have been vetted.
He can't go into details. Can't go into details, but he has been vetted. I'll go with that.
And we have been cleared of all possibility of wrongdoing, foul play. There's nothing to that. We've heard all kinds of stories.
They have been vetted. They have been cleared of any possible wrongdoing or foul play. There's nothing to it, folks. Does he think if he says it, like, they'll just move right past that? Your lips are moving. Your lips are moving. You'll get your chicken party.
I pretty much
Wrongdoing. Go into every single parent has been vetted. I can't go into details, but I can tell you we have been vetted and we have been cleared of all possibility of wrongdoing, foul play. There's nothing to that. We've heard all kinds
Yeah, it's so funny.
of stories.
I pretty much don't even go online anymore at this point.
I, on the other hand, I do go on and I do talk to these folks. And
You said you talk? Come on, Chris. Come on up. He won't. Dropped it again. It's for Chris only. Or
I want them to understand they have this formulated opinion on who we are, not who we truly are.
Well, we've formulated an opinion based upon data, statistics, your words, and what you said happened, and the time frames and the multiple stories that are, in my opinion, not logical. You have, in my opinion, flat out said some things, for instance, that you have been cleared of any wrongdoing. Law enforcement has not named anyone a suspect, and they have not cleared anyone either. Just like you were at the bike place and you said that was way before Sebastian went missing, but yet you had a missing person shirt of Sebastian on. Wrong.
They've never met us. We've never crossed paths with some of these folks. But I have told them online, if you want to know, just ask me. I'll
Come on.
answer your questions to the best of what I can. There are some things that I cannot give you because law enforcement has dictated that we are not to provide certain information.
Okay, so we're at the dictator. Because you're a dick and you look like a tater. In my opinion. So you can't answer. You can answer. For instance, you were home in January multiple times. You were home up until the 5th of February, but you can't answer if you were home from the 5th until the 26th. Right. Law enforcement said they want video of areas, I guess, things that weekend before Sebastian went missing. You say you can't answer that. If you are in a different state and if Sebastian walked off like you guys claim, there is no reason why you can't answer that, in my opinion. You're saying he walked off. Yes, they are, Castle. You guys are the best people in the world. In the world. Y'all are not subscribers. Y'all are family. Reptile Wildfire. Hello, darling. How are you? Thank you so much. Time to play CP and Creepy Calling Card. Snack, Kirby, Cuz, 15, Sugar Water. Thanks, Justin. I can't play the Sugar Water one right now because they got me on that one. It sucks. But we can still have a chicken party. Thank you guys for 1,000 thumbs up. Rock stars. Rock stars. Let's have a chicken party, shall we?
Katie! Christopher! Katie! Christopher! Katie! Christopher! Katie! Christopher! Oh, Grace! Oh, Grace! Christopher! Christopher! Oh, Grace! Christopher! Christopher! Oh, Grace! Grace! Katie! Oh, Katie! 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 Oh, Katie! 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 Oh, Katie! Katie!
Snacks because, he's 15 and snacks. Snacks because, he's 15 and snacks. Snacks because, he's 15 and snacks.
Something that I believe we're pervy to. Something that I believe we're pervy to. Something that I believe we're pervy to.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
even a fly, and he's like,
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
even a fly, and he's like,
Absolutely.
Christopher! Christopher! You're coming with me.
What?
It's a long trip. I'll need a snack. Katie! Oh, Katie!
gonna have barbecue after this? Or are we gonna have snacks? Are we gonna have barbecue after this? Or are we gonna have snacks? Snack. Barbecue. We're gonna have barbecue snacks? Or just snacks? Who wants the barbecue snacks? What are you looking at, dude? What are you looking at? Don't talk it like you know me. Because you ain't know me, mother chicken. I know you're looking at me. I know you're still looking at me. I'm not privy to that, you mother chicken. Get out of here. Stop looking at me. I'm going to eye you, Mr. P Feet. Mr. P Feet, get out of here. Oh, God. Thank you all so much for the great show. Appreciate you all. Love you all from the bottom of my pea picking heart, as my granny would say. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Where was that? Where was that?
FBI, open up!
Mother chicken.
FBI, open up!
Mother chicken. Thank you all. Really do appreciate it. You guys always come through. Was a good live. Was a very good live, in my opinion. And it's only good because you guys are here. And I appreciate you. I love you all, truly. I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow morning at some point, probably 10, 11 Eastern. If not, I will be live tomorrow evening at 5, anywhere from 5 to 6:30 Eastern time. Wherever you are, if you are in the path of this hurricane, please take care of yourself. It is, listen, you can never, ever be too safe. Ever be too safe. Justice is coming for Sebastian. It's coming. Hopefully he is out there somewhere that he's okay. That would be the best. I hope that for Seth. I really do. Yeah, stay safe, Storm Surge. Oh my God. True Sleuth. God bless you, honey. You are so generous to me, sister. At the heart of all this, in my opinion, is this. What possibly could Sebastian have done? You're going to make me cry. What possibly could Sebastian have done to deserve so many who are willing, fully, and actively trying to erase him? In my opinion, the PFs do not care that people have been threatened, nor when Sebastian is disparaged. My heart hurts. Yeah. The thing is, Sebastian was doing everything he possibly could in my opinion, to let the school know, to let his teachers know that something was going on. I think he was scared. and he wanted friends. And so I think one of the best ways that you and I can honor Sebastian is be a friend to somebody who needs a friend. Maybe somebody that isn't understood. Maybe somebody that looks differently. That doesn't understand things the way that maybe we understand. And that may not live like us, that may not pray like us, but wants a friend. And I am grateful to each of you for you supporting Sebastian. I'm thankful to the ones who have not let hate get in the way. I am thankful to the ones that may not agree with me or Seth or Tony or Betty or a lot of us 100% of the time, but you know the truth and you know what is right, and you won't let the popular opinion of certain people who there are people out there who are not only spending their time, but getting threatened and getting dogged for putting out signs, for searching, getting their tires slashed, belts removed. And it's quite dangerous. And so I'm really grateful to each of you, each and every single one of you, because there's been people that you know, have just let you know, they're angry at the wrong person in this 3-parent, use that word loosely, saga. And it has became about drama. It has became toxic. And we're still going to stay here for Sebastian. You're on the right side of history. Sometimes it's not easy. But there is going to come a day. There will be a day. There will be a day. And hopefully it is sooner than later. But I want it to be secured, right? You get one shot. Thank you, Starflower. Thank you, my dear. I love you, honey. Thank you for 4 months. I really appreciate it. And someone or someone's, whoever did this to this child, whether he is alive or otherwise, has done something egregious to a 15-year-old autistic child that only wanted friends, has a chromosome deletion, and his father loves him and misses him. I don't expect anyone to be a perfect parent. There's no such thing. But what you expect out of a parent is whenever the one that they are supposed to put before anyone else is their child. Before any man, before any woman, before anything. And actions always, always speak louder than words. What are you doing to help find your child? What are you doing? And in my opinion, sitting in a 10 camper 3.5 hours away shortly after your son goes missing isn't helping. God bless you all. Thank you all so very much. You guys, Lord willing. Good night, everyone. Good night, and God bless.